Hey guys, another week, another video. Since I brought up the fact that I went on a date last week, I thought I would give you guys a bit of an update. A couple of people were asking me about how the date went, hoping that it went well. Well, I can give you the disappointing or predictable update that it just didn't go well. The date itself went well, but funny enough, one of the tips that I mentioned in that video ended up becoming true. I don't know if any of you read the description, but I went on a date with this man who was 30 years old. Like, this man had his whole career established, and he gave me no indication that he was looking for something casual. He asked me out to a dinner date. I feel like a dinner date tends to be a more like I'm taking you seriously type of date. You don't really ask any girl out to dinner, you know. If you're trying to hook up with somebody, you most likely won't be asking them to dinner. But of course there's always exceptions, isn't there? When it comes to men, I don't even tend to be surprised anymore when I get disappointed but not surprised. Am I right, ladies? Well, he gave me zero indication that he was looking for something casual. Even throughout dinner, he didn't bring up anything, the fact that he was looking for something casual, until the end. And he's like, do you want to go back to my place? And let me tell you guys, the date was going really well up until that point. Like, I liked him, I thought he was funny, he thought I was funny, it was going really well. And then when he brought that up, immediately what I realized is that the entire date he was just pretending to be interested in me, pretending to like me, pretending to laugh at my jokes because he wanted to hook up. A 30-year-old man on dating apps, praying after girls in their young 20s, hoping that they will hook up with them even though in their bio it says they're looking for a relationship, because young girls are naive, young girls are wild, young girls are looking to hook up, right? It's probably what he was thinking. But I remember when he asked me, want to go back to my place, that moment, like, my reality just shattered. My trust issues went up another level. I have insane trust issues, if anybody knows me, and this is because of just all the bad experiences and negative experiences I've had with men in the past. But this really elevated that, took it to a whole new level. He wanted different things than me, and in the end he asked for my number, and I was kind of hesitant because I already knew we weren't looking for the same thing. But I gave it to him, and then when I went home, he texted me and I said, I don't think we're looking for the same thing. I'm not looking for anything casual. Yeah, and then he proceeded to try again and say, oh, well, I'm gonna be out of town, but I'll text you when I'm back again. And then I said, sure, you can text me and let me know, but like I said, my intentions are to find a relationship, and I'm not looking for anything casual, and I'm sure that's not gonna change for me or you. So pretty much shut him down in the nicest way possible. He didn't respond to me after that, of course, but that's good. I feel like although these experiences for me are so discouraging and so predictable and disappointing. Did I say disappointing? It's disappointing. The important part is that I communicate right and set my boundaries and make sure I stick to my intentions when I'm dating and not messing around and wasting my time. Yeah, when I got home I was like, oh, I definitely wasted my time, and that I should have been more careful and figured out that he was looking for something casual before agreeing to go on a date. But this is the tip I wanted to share with you guys this time. Instead of just assuming a guy isn't looking for something casual because he never brings up anything casual and he doesn't talk about anything sexual and he doesn't have that he's looking for something casual in his bio and he makes no indication that he's just trying to hook up, well, just ask in case, because you're gonna waste his time, you're gonna waste your time. And honestly, I wonder why guys don't feel more afraid of wasting their time. Like, why would they go out on a date with someone fully knowing that they're looking for a relationship when they're looking for something casual, and buy them dinner and expect it to go their way, you know? That feels so manipulative and it feels so dirty, and you feel like, what did I do to make you think that way? You know, I did everything right. You're the one who's out there preying on the wrong people, and you're the one who's wasting people's time, your own time, and getting disappointed over it. It's just really annoying. So make sure, ladies, to ask them straight up what is their intention if you don't know what it is exactly, even if they don't give you an indication of different or wrong intentions, because you're gonna waste your time 100%. He's gonna waste his time 100%. Everyone's gonna go home upset, so what's the point of doing that, right? This is how it always is for dating apps. Once you get on it and you're trying your best and you're doing your part, you just start to feel like either one, there's nothing good out there, or two, that there's something wrong with you because you seem to be doing everything you can already, but it's still not going right, you know? Like everything is just goes wrong. You might find somebody you find attractive and is cool, but then they just prove themselves to be crazy. I'm very cautious. I have a lot of red flags, things I look out for to indicate whether or not the person is a red flag or not a red flag. But even me, I can't get it right all the time. I feel that I waste my time a lot talking to people that are not, well, you need to talk to people to figure out if you're compatible or not, right? But every time you think you're on the right track and then you talk to someone and it's just the complete wrong track, like the person is just so left field, they're just completely, you couldn't even imagine that a person like this existed, let alone think that they could be compatible with you. Like, what kind of creatures are crawling out of this dating app? Yesterday somebody called me on the dating app and he was claiming how he was really funny because I like funny guys. I was saying how I like guys who have a sense of humor, who are funny like me, who are smart, and you know, he was like, I'm funny, I'm smart, you should talk to me. And then we had a call and it was just, it was an abomination, guys. It was like more of this suicide, death, racist, homophobic, fat jokes, sexual jokes, and I don't know you. I don't feel comfortable hearing weird sex jokes from you. I don't know why guys think it's so funny. Maybe it's just me. I don't think it's funny, but funny is subjective, right? I can think something's not funny, he can think something's hilarious. This is what I already mentioned in the last video. The point is, it's discouraging when you think you find somebody who understands you, maybe can connect with you on a deeper level, and it just goes so wrong. What am I doing wrong? It must be something that I'm doing wrong. But I'm trying not to let that get to me. Anyways, that's enough of this dating horror stories. I just made my profile last week and I wanted to delete it again. And this happens every single time without fail because there's nothing good out there. The quality of people just feels like it's unreal. Like, I feel like I've met a lot better people in real life just in my day-to-day. I think on these dating apps, people get too comfortable revealing themselves, and I never knew people could be like this. I never knew they could be so strange. And I'm not saying strange in a judgmental way, just completely shocking people. People that will say things you could never imagine a normal person saying in everyday life. I don't think I'm judgmental. If this means that I can't be with anybody ever, that's okay. I've accepted my fate. Anyways, what did I even want to talk about today other than that? That was my quick, very long update on my experience with the dating app. Overall negative. I wanted to talk today about being a hopeless romantic, which I really am, and a lot of girls, guys even, are as well. What is it like being a hopeless romantic? I thought of a funny analogy that I think explains my whole experience with being a hopeless romantic. It's kind of like the adult version of believing in Santa Claus. And the reason why I say that is because when you start dating, you believe in Santa Claus, you believe in real love, you believe in finding the one, the true love, and that love can make anything work, and that love surmounts all adversity, and you can get through anything as long as you two love each other, right? Well, after my first relationship, that was my first love, the first person that I truly believe was the one and was gonna be the one, and I wanted it to work so badly that I just tore myself apart. I just completely threw away my old self, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do anything to make this work because this is what I'm meant to do. This is my purpose in life. Yeah, that's very common for hopeless romantics. I think they just chase love at any level and any capacity, and just their logic goes out the window when they fall in love. And yeah, that happened to me. The reason why I compare it to believing in Santa Claus is because eventually all kids find out that Santa Claus isn't real. This true, ideal, perfect movie picture perfect love isn't real. Real life is ugly, it's imperfect. There's gonna be issues in any relationship, any romantic relationship, any real life relationship. There is ugly parts, there's lows, there's hard parts that people don't want to talk about because it's not all this magical thing that will come and fix your life. You have to work hard, you have to be loyal, you have to put in effort, you have to respect each other, you have to put in effort every day to make a relationship work. And that's the kind of stuff that people don't really show in rom-coms. It's all just lovey-dovey. Oh, this man is making a grand proclamation of his love to the girl. Oh, she falls in love and they live happily ever after. That's the Santa Claus fairy tale that you're fed. But everybody will tell you when you're delusional, they'll be like, Santa Claus isn't real. Santa Claus isn't real. But deep down, all you want to believe is Santa Claus is real. So you're going to ignore those people, right? You're going to be like, I'm going to prove to them that Santa Claus is real. He leaves presents on my doorstep and he's like this perfect guy. But then one day, your whole reality shatters because Santa Claus doesn't show up when he comes down the fucking chimney in the middle of the night. And you're like, oh, well, who put these presents here then? Because I didn't see Santa Claus come down. Yeah, it was all a lie. This guy who you thought was perfect and gonna be the one and everything was gonna work out and be happily ever after, he wasn't real. It was all made up by you to live a happier, easier, ignorant life. And you just have to learn that the hard way, get hurt, and realize that it's not real through your own experience. Just like every kid with Santa Claus. Well, I never believed Santa Claus, but this is just an analogy I thought of. And the point is, no matter how many times people tell you it's not real, you're going to want to believe it's real. And then you're going to have to learn it on your own that it's not real. When your reality comes crashing down, what do you have to do? You have to learn how to make Christmas great on your own again without believing in this false fairy tale. You know, people as adults love Christmas. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at as a hopeless romantic. You need to have that life-shattering moment where you realize this fantasy stuff you're believing in isn't real. The guy isn't gonna drive across the country, fly across the world to come proclaim his love to you and live happily ever after. That's not how real life works. That guy might just be the one that breaks your heart. And once that happens and your reality shatters, you become the adult who has to learn how to enjoy Christmas without believing in some fantasy. And adults love Christmas. That's the point. You can learn to love Christmas as an adult, as a realistic person, instead of constantly believing in this lie. Like, it's harmless to believe in a lie, but also that's not true. It's not harmless to believe in a lie, because when you believe in a false narrative that life is perfect, that there's no ugly parts in romantic love, and that the relationship should be perfect, and this guy should be bringing you flowers every day and proclaiming his love and never looking at another woman. Once you realize that nobody's perfect and nobody can be perfect all the time, including you, you will find a way to make the imperfectness and the struggles that come with romantic love something that is great as well. Obviously, they're not pleasant, but you have to realize that's just part of it. And that's part of a normal, healthy relationship as well. Not always believing in delusion and trying to pretend that problems don't exist and trying to convince yourself that life is perfect and that if it's not perfect, then everything is wrong. That is so dangerous. So let me tell you the way I was convincing myself that everything was fine in my last relationship. Because he was my first love and I was a hopeless romantic, I wanted to believe so hard that love and hope could fix everything, and that I could change him with my love, and that I could make him treat me well if he loved me more, if I treated him with more love, if I gave him everything I could, he would change and love me, like in those rom-coms. You know, you can change the bad boy, you can change the damaged guy. The guy who loves you will stay with you through everything. And that's kind of like what was going on, you know, in my head. I was like, okay, well, he says he'll stay with me no matter what. And even though he's hurting me and he's not adding to my life, he's actually dragging me down. Because I love him, it didn't matter. Love and hope can fix everything, and it will create a perfect dream future reality. But what I realized is I was just chasing this false reality and putting him in this pedestal and making him seem like the perfect guy who could do everything and was willing to stay with me forever and go through all these hardships with me. But I didn't want to constantly be going through hardships, you know. I didn't want to be constantly having to solve the next issue and having to, it was just so much. It was like trauma bonding. Getting through issues together was what made our love stronger, and I was trapped in it. I felt trapped, and I felt like it was all I deserved, and I felt like if I love him, then it will work out, because that's what I've been told my whole life. That's what these movies, music, and these books have been telling me my whole life. Like, if I just try, it will work out, and it should work out, because this is my life, this is my story, and I can write it. But no, you need to be realistic with yourself sometimes. You need to tell yourself Santa Claus isn't real. You need to tell yourself that this fantasy that you are putting in your head is actually harming you more than it is benefiting you. It might make you happy in your delusional world, but then when you get to reality and realize that you can't pay your bills, this guy is draining your bank account, this guy is dragging you down, taking up all your time, dragging you away from your friends and your family, taking up all your time, giving you no time for yourself, you're just shrinking and atrophying and becoming a shell of who you were before. Honestly, being a hopeless romantic at that point, because at the point you have nothing left in your life for yourself. You're just chasing a false reality all the time. You're just changing yourself to mold into the next person that you're chasing. So it was a great lesson for me to go through my first love and get that huge wake-up call reality check that love is imperfect, and healthy love is also not perfect. So I need to start realizing and learning about healthy love and healthy relationship dynamics, and what it's like for healthy people to resolve conflict, to deal with conflict together, to respect each other when they're mad at each other, to have mutual respect. Anyways, I don't have any of this down. Like, I've never been in a healthy relationship. So my point is that I'm trying my best to understand and realize that while yes, my old self, who was a hopeless romantic, who just blindly tried to change people and believed that my love could change them, I am trying to first of all get rid of that old way of thinking, which I think I've succeeded, but I've reached a level where I'm kind of just a pessimist and a hater of love. I just don't believe in it anymore. I'm like looking at people and just thinking like, if you're in love, you're probably delusional, which isn't true. I'm trying to learn a new understanding of relationships, that there is a way to, be in a imperfect relationship where things aren't just roses and daisies and sunshine and rainbows. But I'm trying to learn that you can be in one of those healthy relationships, and that I need to learn what it looks like to be in a healthy relationship before actually trying at all to get into one. And that's why I'm kind of just keeping my options open, I'm open to dating. I saw this video by this other YouTuber I've been watching. I can't remember her name, but she was saying how she used to meet somebody, go on a date with them, and if it went well, she would just go stick with that person and keep going with that person. And that's exactly what I did. I would meet someone, and when we hit it off, I would just go down this rabbit hole, and I wouldn't be able to think about anyone else. I would just be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna date this guy. And then they reveal themselves as people that, aren't the greatest, but you're already attached. So you're just thinking, I'm gonna make it work. I can change him. It's just a little thing that I can ignore because he has all these other great qualities. We got along great before, but no, you're just turning a blind eye at that point. You're just doing that stupid, hopeless romantic thing again where you're like, oh, if I meet someone, we hit it off, it's meant to be. But I really want to not be like that. I want to open my mind and meet a lot of people and see what works for me, and then figure it out from there, Stop being so make the same mistakes over and over again. It takes people a lot longer than me to get to this point, like many failed relationships, but I think one is enough for me. One is enough for me. I'm 23 and it seems young, but I'm ready to stop repeating the same mistakes over and over again. I don't get any satisfaction from casual hookups or, validation from random men that I'm not even interested in. I'm looking for real connections and people that actually can understand my personality and go well with my personality. Like, I'm not gonna make excuses for people that just don't understand me. Think like, oh, like it's okay for opposites to be together, or it's okay if he's mean to me sometimes because I'm sure he doesn't mean it, or I'm sure that the jokes he made this time aren't his full personality. There's like other good parts of him, I don't want to make excuses for people anymore. I know I'm not going to find someone who's perfectly compatible with me, but I can sure try. I am going to keep my options open, and I'm not going to let like the first guy who says he likes me tie me down. Anyways, that's all. This is the final makeup look. Thanks guys so much for watching my video. I want to say thank you for 500 subscribers. I didn't even expect it, to be honest, on my last video, but thank you guys so much. I don't know what to say. I was gonna do a 500 subscriber special, so I guess if you guys have any ideas, if you want to see something in my next videos, if you want me to talk about something in particular, please let me know in the comments below. And please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.